Hi, I'm Annie Bond, and in 1980 I was extremely poisoned actually by two back-to-back chemical poisonings. One, I worked at a restaurant that had a gas leak, and the next one was a pesticide that was used in our apartment building, and it was so neurotoxic it's since been taken off the market. And I got very, very sick. Took a long time to get properly diagnosed. Back then, 1980, people didn't know about environmental health and environmental medicine. But I finally, by great good luck from my sister, found me an environmental medicine doctor, and I learned that I was incredibly these poisonings made me unbelievably chemically sensitive. So I couldn't live in the world we live in and feel well. So by hook or by crook, I had to learn how to live without toxic chemicals. And it took me maybe 5 years, moved 10 times in 4 years, learned how to clean, do things so I'd go to visit people in my family and I'd have alternatives for them to use so that I could even be in their houses. And it was a harrowing time in my life. It was always survival, but I really, really learned how to live without chemicals. And so I very, very gratefully got well enough to have my daughter, and this was about 8 years after I got sick. And after she was born, I really tried to, my concerns changed from just concern about my health to concern about the world she was going into. And I needed to start figuring out how to make a living from home. And I even had Post-its on a wall every time I'd have an idea. How do I make money at home? And I had a Post-it for babies' booties, or a Post-it for this or that. And I increasingly, however, also had Post-its about, I'd really like to write about non-toxic living, or I'd like to be able to put together a clearinghouse of information about non-toxic living. And one by one, the baby booties Post-its came off the wall, and I ended up wanting to start a clearinghouse of non-toxic living. And so my book, Clean and Green, came out in 1989. It was the first time clean and green had ever been put together in the same sentence. And I was sort of ahead of the whole green wave of 1990s Earth Day only because of my personal problems. I learned how to live this way, and I had found that around Earth Day 1990, very well-intentioned editors around the country were saying, clean the windows with vinegar, do this, do that. And I knew a lot of their suggestions weren't working, and I knew why they didn't work because I actually knew how things worked. And so I ended up with a career really of alternating between non-toxic, working on books and working on periodicals. I was the founding editor of the Green Guide, for example. And I ended up starting a True Find because I wanted an avenue for telling people what I knew about how to live in a natural way on video in a simple Ask Annie formula, but also provide the products that are hard to find at the same time. And so I am very excited about inviting you, everybody that you can think of with questions, to ask me their questions, because I have a database of information about non-toxic living that's really big in my head, and I would love to be able to share it. Tell the stories of how people get sick, how they get well, what makes them feel good, what makes them feel bad. I believe you can clean everything in the house without using toxic chemicals. I'm positive of that. I believe that we can live our lives on this planet without using toxic chemicals, and I am very, it's my life story is one of there was a real silver lining in my tragedy, which was I got sick, but I've led a normal life for the last 30 years because I've learned how to live in a non-toxic way, and nobody would know it. It seems like a normal life to most people. And I can teach you how to do it also. And so please, I really invite you to send me questions, ask me what you would like to know. Thank you.